Hello, and welcome back to another progress video on the free-to-play Ultimate Iron Man account. So, in terms of progress on this account, it's it's been an interesting couple months this year. I think my last video was the last week of January, and it's first week of April now, so it's been about 2-3 months. So, just kind of getting into the progress of the account so far, kind of stuff that I'm up to. Uh, I made a couple good gains, and I made some kind of interesting gains, kind of based around some of the recent updates that are going to be coming for free to play, which I'll get into in a bit. So, just from the last video, when I was doing odorous ranging and then kind of using the Rings of Forging for smithing and such. Basically, after it was announced that there's a big update coming, I finished up the arrows that I had, which got me up to 88 range from I think 85. Also got me hit points level as well. Um, I used up the rest of my runes of forging, and then I used up the rest of the nature runes I got from that. That got me up to 81 smithing. Got me a couple magic levels as well. And so once I was done with that, basically a lot of people in the free-to-play community right now, at least for Iron Man, know that there are not really many options right now that aren't going to be losing EHP values, or the update isn't going to be affecting them. And so that's basically crafting and woodcutting right now. Those are the kind of the two biggest that you can't really go wrong with. So I ended up spending a decent amount of time doing crafting. You saw in my little level menu there that did it get up to 80 crafting from 72, so that was a pretty good grind. If you're not aware of what the free-to-play crafting meta is, it's essentially going to Varrock Southwest mine, mining the three silver rots right there, world hopping about 4 or 5 times, world hopping every 4 to 5 worlds, and then just the teleport to Falador with magic. And so did that for a couple hours, got up to 80. It's pretty click intensive, and it's not something that you can really AFK unless you're actually at the furnace smithing. And so it's kind of a nice goal to get done over time. Once I got to 80 though, I figured I'd kind of switch it over and go to woodcutting. I know I don't have the rune axe yet. I'm definitely not sure if I'm ever gonna grind for grind to 85 smithing to get it anytime in the near future. But adamant axe is doing pretty well. I'm still getting XP, and I'm still getting pretty close to EHP rates, especially when I am tick manipulating with the snow. But yeah, so the reason why I kind of took this route recently, the reason why I kind of stopped the ranging grind and why I stopped the smithing grind with it is there's a big update coming to free to play in I think just a few weeks. And so you'll probably have seen the announcement for the Below Ice Mountain update. It's essentially a game changer for free to play in terms of really all of the metas that free to play players use for their best XP rates for each skill. And so I guess kind of popping over the skills tab again to kind of analyze what it's going to be. Obviously, it's not out yet, and so rates aren't decided. The new meta, new way the tick manipulate isn't decided. But essentially, the slowest skill, rune crafting, is no longer going to be the slowest skill. This is because you're going to be able to do something where you kill these new golems, these like rune crafting golems under the mountain, and you take these orbs or whatever they drop to altars, and it's supposed to be pretty high. I think on the website they were saying something like 10 or 15,000 XP an hour. That's way higher than the current rate of 3,500 or 3,800 an hour. And so that's going to be a pretty big game changer, not just for the rune crafting skill, but for all melees as well, because depending on how much HP these duelims have, you're probably going to you know get 99 or 200 mil combats or melees at least before you get 99 or 200 mil rune crafting. Keeping in mind that EHP rates are based on the fastest route to 200 mil all. So because of that, I'm not gonna touch melee anytime soon. I actually ended up going ahead and dropping my rune kite shield, which always painful, as I know I'm gonna probably have to get that back at some point. But if I don't need it for now, and if it's just an extra inventory space, then why bother with it? Especially when I was doing the crafting grind that needed the chronicle teleport as well. In terms of other things that's going to be game changing, there's supposed to be a new prayer fishing method, and so prayer being the second slowest skill to train uh, as a free-to-play Iron Man, and especially a difficult one to train as an Ultimate Iron Man, considering you have to go into the wilderness to the boneyard. Um, there's gonna be, supposed to be a pretty big game changer for that. So, on the way to training 99 prayer, you're probably gonna get 99 fishing and maybe cooking, uh, depending on if you still need to cook the fish to get the prayer XP. I'm not really sure how it's gonna be. And then on top of that, there's going to be a new smithing meta, which is supposed to be able to get up to 15k an hour. I'm not sure what that's going to be with tick manipulation, but yeah, in all, everything except crafting, maybe range, and woodcutting fire making are going to be totally different. Getting to my opinions on what I think about updates. I know this is a very controversial topic just in RuneScape as a whole, especially in free to play. Now, I'm not a professional player. I'm not, a kind of person that I can sit down here for 12 hours a day and just grind out levels and get, thousands of EHP a year. But even still, I think a lot of the reasons why people signed up for this game, to play 2007 Scape is, we want the stuff that's in 2007. Um, like, not to say, and obviously I am upset that, my EHP will go down and, my achievements so far will be devalued. Same with most other Ironmen right now. But, like, I want to play 2007 Scape to play 2007 Scape. I mean, Ogresses were a meta changer enough, but, even with this new update coming out, it'll be changed even further. If I wanted these constant updates, I'd play free to play RuneScape 3. Um, But that's not going to stop me from, using the methods. Obviously, end game of this account is to max, and so I'm going to do that the fastest way I can. If that means I got to partake in every single new meta, then I absolutely will, even if I do it begrudgingly. At the same time, though, I definitely do understand why they're doing it. I mean, Jagex is a company that needs to pay the bills, and if giving new opportunities like these increases the amount of free players that play the game that eventually, buy bonds and become members, then, good for Jagex. Like, ultimately, if I am going to match this account, which is probably going to take, with the Ice Mountain update, uh, probably a lot less than it was. I know the traditional time to match the free-to-play Iron Man is somewhere just under 9,000 hours, or maybe something above 8,000 hours. It's probably going to change, especially with runecrafting, considering runecrafting alone is like a 3,500 hour grind, and prayer is a 1,200 hour grind, I think, or 1,000 hours, not including the big bones you would get from Ogresses. So it's going to be interesting how it works out. I'm definitely interested in seeing, what the content's going to be like. When it does come out, I probably am gonna still be doing woodcutting. I think the kind of short-term goal is to get 90 fire making, just to have a 90. I've never had a 90 in a skill before. Seems kind of exciting. and it's definitely one of the fastest ones to get. So we'll see about that. I definitely want to wait for people like Tanardino to run in there and figure out all the new metas and figure out all the tick manipulation things. I don't want to go in there until I know what the fastest way of getting XP is. And especially at the beginning when all the players are going to want to go in and check it out. I don't want to be competing for the resources or anything. So yeah, I think that's kind of where we'll wrap it up today. Uh, Obviously, gonna continue the grind. I just got 1200 total level, and so the slow grind to 1493 continues. Next video will probably be some point after the Ice Mountain comes out, and so I'll probably have an update for something I'm doing there. Probably gonna go for the new smithing method first, just because I want to get 85 and 89 smithing, so can have all the nice fancy runite or items. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.